Thursday Night Football was supposed to be the perfect opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles to re-establish dominance, to remind the league why they're considered one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. Instead, what unfolded was nothing short of a disaster, a national humiliation in prime time. In front of the entire football world, the Eagles didn't just lose. They crumbled. They looked uninspired, unprepared, and completely outmatched. And not against some powerhouse team on a playoff surge. This was against the New York Giants, a team with their coach and general manager both clinging to their jobs and entering this game in complete turmoil. Let's be honest, this wasn't just a bad game. This was one of the most embarrassing losses the Eagles have suffered in recent memory. You probably have to go back to that Week 4 blowout against the Buccaneers last season to find a collapse of this magnitude. But even then, the context was different. Key players like Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith weren't on the field in that one. But in this game, the offense was at full strength. The stars were active. There were no excuses. And still, 17 points. That's it. Just 17 points for the second straight week. A complete offensive blackout with no answers and no rhythm. The defense had some key injuries, with Jalen Carter sidelined due to a heel issue and Quinn Mitchell going down early with a hamstring. But the offense? They were 100%. Yet it didn't matter. What's really troubling is not just that the Eagles lost. It's how they lost. They got bullied, pushed around, outmuscled. The Giants were more physical, more aggressive, and, frankly, more determined. Watching the game, it honestly looked like the Eagles didn't even want to be there. Like they were already halfway down I-95 heading back to Philly before the final whistle blew. The Giants, yes, that Giants team, dragged them up and down the field for 4 full quarters. This wasn't a fluke. It was domination. And we're not talking about a Giants team that's surging. We're talking about a Giants team that blew a 13-point lead last week against the winless Saints. A team that turned the ball over 5 times and looked completely disjointed. And yet, against Philadelphia, they looked like contenders. They looked like a team with something to prove. Meanwhile, the Eagles? They looked lost. They looked soft. Now, some fans might try to spin this. Glass half full. We're still 4-2. Everything's fine. But let's cut through the fluff. Everything is not fine. This team, 6 weeks into the season, has no identity. The offense is sputtering. The defense is banged up and underperforming. And for all the talent on this roster, they just got steamrolled by a team in rebuild mode. Where's the fire? Where's the fight? This was the point in the season last year when the Eagles hit their stride. When they found that balance between run and pass, leaned on their stars, and started building momentum toward that Super Bowl run. This year, they just look broken. There's no urgency, no pulse. And you start to wonder, are they already worn down? Are they feeling the hangover from last season? Because what we saw on that field wasn't just a bad night. It was a breakdown in every phase of the game. And that falls on everyone. On the players, on the coaches, on the front office. And yes, let's talk about that front office. There are some real questions that need to be asked about the way this roster was built for this season. Did Howie Roseman fail this team? Look at some of the moves, or lack of moves, that were made. The Eagles needed help at corner. Isaiah Rodgers was available. He's now starting and thriving in Minnesota, and Philly could have had him. Instead, we're watching Adoree Jackson and Khalil Ringo get roasted out there. They've been liabilities all season. They needed edge rush depth after letting Josh Sweat walk. Who do they bring in? A 30-plus-year-old Zadarius Smith who has been fine in rotation, but not nearly enough as a consistent pass rusher. And that's been a glaring hole. There's no one getting after the quarterback right now. Then there's the offensive line. The protection has been inconsistent at best, and losing a guy like Mekhi Becton, that hurts. He signed a very affordable deal with the Chargers, 2 years, $20 million, and by all reports, he would have stayed in Philadelphia for that number. That's a miss. You could go down the list. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, traded away. Now he's out there bringing energy, swagger, and leadership, all things the Eagles clearly lacked in this game. There's a pattern forming. This team has talent, yes, but the depth, the attitude, the intangibles, they're not there. And in the NFL, that's the difference between being a playoff team and being a real contender. And let's talk about the coaching. Kevin Poulo the offensive coordinator. It's not working. This offense has gone missing. Vanished. And the worst part is how predictable everything has become. Defenses know what's coming. There's no creativity, no sequencing, no feel. The Eagles are becoming one of the easiest teams in the league to game plan against. Just look at their second-half performances over the past 3 games. Fumbles, interceptions, 3-and-outs, drive after drive going nowhere. No adjustments, no spark. You can't win football games like that. Not in this league. And sure, people will say, it's mid-season, there's still time. But who's going to fix this? You're not bringing in a new offensive coordinator mid-season. That screams panic. Who's available anyway? You're not calling up John Gruden off the street. There's no magical solution waiting out there. The fix has to come from within, and right now, it doesn't look like anyone in the building has the answers. Next week, the Eagles head to Minnesota, one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. And they're going to face a defense led by Brian Flores, one of the most aggressive and creative defensive minds in football. If you think it's been bad the last 2 weeks, buckle up. That could get ugly. The Eagles are now staring down the real possibility of losing 3 straight games. It hasn't happened since 2 years ago. And even then, that stretch included the regular season finale against the Giants where they pulled starters and a wild card game where they were missing key players. This time, no such excuse. This team looks tired, mentally, emotionally, physically drained. They're making uncharacteristic mistakes. Personal fouls, missed tackles, blown coverages. They can't stop the run. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't finish drives. They're just not playing complimentary football. This game against the Giants was supposed to be the reset button, a get-right game, a chance to clean up the sloppiness and come out firing. But instead, it was more of the same, and in some ways, even worse. A total team collapse against a divisional rival with one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the league. And you know what the worst part is? The team didn't even look angry about it. There was no response, no pushback. They got punched in the mouth and just took it. No urgency, no pride. That's not what you expect from a Nick Sirianni coach team. He's supposed to be the motivator, the culture guy, the one who keeps this team focused and playing with fire. But there was none of that. The Eagles didn't just lose a football game. They lost their edge, their identity, their swagger. And if they don't figure out fast, the season could spiral into something way worse than just a few early losses. This is the NFL. Momentum shifts fast. Confidence erodes quickly. And right now, the Eagles are teetering on the edge. The problems with the Eagles right now go deeper than just execution. It's not just about a bad play here or a missed tackle there. This is systemic. This is foundational. From the top of the organization to the players on the field, something is broken. The Eagles are supposed to be a disciplined, tough, physical football team. That's been the core identity under Nick Sirianni. But when you look at the product on the field, you don't see discipline. You don't see toughness. You don't see urgency. What you see is a team sleepwalking through games and hoping that talent alone will carry them. But talent isn't enough in this league, and that mindset is why they just got blown off the field by a rebuilding Giants squad. Let's go back to the game itself for a second. The opening drive gave a false sense of hope. Saquon Barkley rips off a couple of strong runs, 18 yards, then 13. You're thinking maybe, just maybe, this is the game where the Eagles lean into the run game again and reestablish some balance. But the drive stalls, and that little spark vanishes as quickly as it came. Barkley finishes the game with just under 60 yards on 12 carries, and the offense, once again, can't move the ball consistently. Every drive feels like a struggle. Nothing is easy. Nothing is in rhythm. The passing game? Flashes. That's all it is. A couple of nice stat lines here and there. Dallas Goedert's been solid. 4 straight games with a touchdown now, and he racked up over 100 yards in this one. A.J. Brown had his moments, and Devonta Smith got involved. But it's all in bursts. It never lasts for a full game. This offense is like a firecracker with a faulty fuse. It sparks for a second, then fizzles. And when it goes cold, it really goes cold. Like the kind of cold that puts up back-to-back 3-and-outs and hands the other team momentum on a silver platter. And speaking of momentum, There was one moment in the second quarter that perfectly captured everything wrong with the Eagles right now. Jalen Hurts had Devonta Smith wide open down the field. A walk-in, 89-yard touchdown. No one near him. A throw that should be automatic for a quarterback of Hurts' caliber. But he overthrows it, completely misses. Instead of flipping the game on its head and igniting the crowd, the Eagles punt. The Giants take over, march down the field, and score. That's the game right there. That's the kind of missed opportunity that elite teams don't let happen. But the Eagles did. Then comes the desperation late in the game. A final push. They're in the red zone, trying to cut into the lead, and Hurts throws another pick. This time to Flott. Another drive wasted. Another chance squandered. And that's becoming a trend with this offense. When the game's on the line, when they need a big drive, they just don't deliver. They're not clutch. They're not finishing. But you can't blame it all on the offense. The defense is just as guilty. They allowed 172 rushing yards to the Giants. The same Giants team that looked completely lost on offense last week. The Eagles couldn't tackle, couldn't contain, couldn't make a stop on third down. And it's not like they were facing a seasoned veteran quarterback. The Giants were led by a rookie, and he converted 11 of 16 third downs. 11. That's brutal. The contrast was staggering. The Eagles, on third down, were 1 for 9. The Giants? 11 for 16. That's not just execution. That's coaching. That's preparation. That's scheme. The Eagles look like a team with no plan. No adjustments. No ability to read and react. They go into games with one script, and if that doesn't work, they're out of answers. And the penalties, it's getting out of hand. Personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conduct, late hits. This team is giving away yards like candy. They're beating themselves week after week. And it's the same mistakes over and over. It's like nothing's being corrected in practice. Nothing's being cleaned up. That's on the coaching staff. This was supposed to be a reset game for Philadelphia. A game to get right. A divisional opponent, under the lights, a chance to shut the critics up. But instead, it exposed every crack, every flaw, every concern that's been simmering below the surface all season. The secondary? Broken. The tackling? Awful. The play calling? Predictable. The urgency? Non-existent. Even special teams are falling apart. You got fumbled kick returns. Missed assignments. Poor field position. A.J. Dillon came in, fumbled a kickoff out of bounds. Then he fumbles again on a screen pass. The mistakes are endless, and they're happening in every phase of the game. That's how you lose by 17 points to a team you were supposed to dominate. You know what's even more damning? The Eagles used to pride themselves on depth. Next man up used to mean something in Philly. But without Jalen Carter and Quinn Mitchell, the defense looked completely exposed. This roster isn't as deep as people thought. And when the stars don't show up, there's nobody stepping up in their place. That's a dangerous place to be in this league. It really begs the question, what exactly was the plan this offseason? Because Howie Roseman had a chance to retool, to fix holes, to prepare for the grind of another long season. And what did he do? He let leaders walk. He let playmakers walk. He gambled on aging vets and improving young guys. And now we're seeing the results. The truth is this team looks cooked. Not just beat up, burnt out. They look tired, emotionally drained, spiritually flat. You can feel it in their body language. There's no swagger, no juice, no belief. And that's dangerous, because in this league, you either respond or you collapse. And right now, the Eagles are teetering. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most surprising shifts of the season, whispers around the league suggest that Jared Goff, the seasoned quarterback who has been the face of the Detroit Lions for years, might be heading east to join the Philadelphia Eagles. Sources close to the situation have hinted that preliminary discussions have already taken place, sending shockwaves through both fan bases. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere possibility has sparked a frenzy on social media, with fans speculating on what this could mean for both franchises. Goff's time with the Lions has been marked by moments of brilliance and occasional frustration. He led the team through a series of dramatic playoff pushes, and his leadership in the locker room has been widely praised. Yet, rumors have persisted that Detroit's front office may be looking to shake things up, and a potential trade or signing with the Eagles could provide both sides with a fresh start. The Eagles, on the other hand, are said to be exploring every option to bolster their quarterback depth, especially after a season that left fans hungry for more consistency and big-game leadership. Insiders suggest that Philadelphia is eager to add a veteran presence to their roster, and Goff fits the profile perfectly. Experienced, capable of orchestrating a dynamic offense, and still relatively young in terms of quarterback longevity. Fans are already imagining the possibilities. Goff lining up under center with a squad full of explosive talent, connecting on precise throws, and executing game-changing drives. Meanwhile, speculation runs wild about what Detroit might get in return, whether it's draft picks, a younger quarterback, or a combination that could reshape the team's future. Even though it's all still in the realm of rumor, the NFL world is buzzing. Analysts are debating whether Goff could seamlessly adapt to Philadelphia's offensive scheme, and whether this move might reignite his career in ways some never expected. The Eagles' faithful are cautiously optimistic, while Lions fans are torn between heartbreak and curiosity about the next chapter. Until official announcements are made, the rumor mill will only intensify, with every training camp report and front office whisper dissected for clues. One thing is certain. If this deal comes to fruition, it will be one of the most talked about moves of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.